We welcome back Karen McMillan and Miller Mackenzie-Brown from New Zealand Book Lovers, who have 3 books to review for us today. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And I see you brought a new co-host for me.
Yes, we have.
Nice, quiet one who doesn't give me any trouble.
Yeah.
I do like him very much so. So Karen, what's the first book we've got today?
We're going to talk about The Tiger Catcher by Paulina Simons. So she's sold like a gazillion million copies of her books worldwide, and I'm a big fan of the Bron Horseman series. So this is an epic Russian love story. And Paulina herself, she is an American novelist, but she's Russian-born. And I think this Russian sensibility comes out in her books, including this latest one. So it's epic and compelling and, larger than life.
So it's called The Tiger Catcher. What's the story?
Right, so it's the first in a trilogy, and it's, again, a dramatic love story. So Julian goes to a play in London, and he sees Josephine performing, and he's mesmerised by her. So then he meets her a few weeks later in LA, and they begin this passionate love affair. But none of his friends like her, and they all believe she's got secrets. But he doesn't care. He's going to marry her. He's completely smitten, and they're deliriously happy.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that would be the first chapter. Something must go wrong?
You're right. Things go horribly wrong, and I'm not doing a spoiler to say that Josephine dies before the wedding.
Oh,
so
okay.
We actually know that in the first chapter.
Oh, good to know.
Good to know. Good to know. So it's not a spoiler. And Julian, you meet him. He's absolutely devastated by grief. But Julian gets the opportunity to go back in time. So at this point, it becomes a time slip novel, and he goes back to London in the 1600s.
Wow, okay. So who's going to like this book?
Anybody who likes Outlander by Diana Gabaldon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A Time Traveller's Wife. And I just thought this was wonderful. Like, it's just so emotionally engaging.
And is the first part of the, as a trilogy, because you know how sometimes you read it that you know there's going to be a trilogy, the first one feels like it ends abruptly. Does it have a good ending?
It's got a really good ending, and the good thing is we don't have to wait too long for the second book. A Beggar's Kingdom is actually out in July.
Oh, good. Well, that's the way to do a trilogy.
Yeah,
Get them out quick so I don't lose interest.
So what do you think about this, Miller?
The Time Traveller is confusing but interesting at the same time.
Okay, cool. That's a good one. So we've got Paulina Simons, The Tiger Catcher. Now, we've got a book by David Williams that you're going to talk about, Miller. Have you read his other books? Because he's quite a prolific writer now, isn't he?
Yes, I have, and I love his books. I really enjoyed Awful Auntie and Rat Burger, and his new book, Thing, is just as funny.
So he's not only a great actor, but he's a good writer. So what's this one about?
So Mr. and Mrs. Meek have a daughter called Myrtle, and she is not darling, and she has everything she could ever want. When she declares she wants a thing, sends her parents on a crazy quest out to find this rare creature.
So a thing is an actual creature?
Yes, the parents learn about it in the basement in the library, and it's not a creature you should have as a pet, so it ends up being a funny disaster when they end up with not just one thing, but 2 things.
2 things. Okay, that does sound like a recipe for disaster. So what would be your verdict on this book then?
It's a really funny book, and it's got a great message about not being too greedy. And it has really cool pictures throughout the book.
Yeah,
it's
so
really
lots
cool.
of people can have a little look at these ones.
Yeah.
So this is the book. So it's going to appeal to what sort of age do you reckon we should think about for that one? You guys?
Any age.
Any age?
You loved it. My dad loved it.
You liked it as well?
Yeah.
Cool. I know that my
Everybody.
son would really like this and all the different little pictures and stuff.
I've been
Yeah.
thinking about 7 Up.
7+. Oh, it looks cool. Excellent. So we've
Yeah.
got Thing, David Williams. Right. And our final book of the day is one from a writer that we have actually had on the show, Rachel Grumwell.
Isn't she great?
Balance, Food, Health and Happiness. So tell me a little bit of Rachel's background.
Yeah, well, she's a journalist who specialises in health and wellbeing. So this is her first book, and she's interviewed 30 experts from New Zealand and around the world. So you get the best of the experts there. But she also talks about her own journey. So she was the stressed out, unfit journalist and mother, and she's totally transformed her life by now running marathons and looking after other people's lifestyle and fitness plans.
She's incredible, and she's so great to talk to because she's such a wealth of information, and she's so positive and supportive as well.
Oh, she's incredible.
So she's got 30 experts in there, hasn't she? Tell me a little bit about some of them.
Well, that's what I love. 30 experts means you don't have to go and buy 30 books. They're all in
Yeah.
here, It's pretty good, isn't it? So she's got professors and doctors from various professions. She's also got people like Nadia Lim, Sarah Wilson, Teresa Gatting, so well-known names.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the book's it's very diverse. There's information about nutrition, there's information about balancing your life and not being so busy, there's information about working with charities and living for a purpose, challenging yourself and getting out of your rut.
Finding happiness, all sorts of things, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. Decluttering, more sustainable living, so everything's in here, plus recipes. So
Yeah,
there's actually 30 recipes and they're fantastic.
The recipes in here, where am I just going to flick through? There they are. There. Some of these recipes were absolutely amazing. Like there's this one here, which I have yet to try, but I really want to. Ginger, coconut and nut muesli. How good does that
Fantastic.
sound? That sounds like a perfect way to start the day. So Miller, do you have a favourite expert in the book?
I like Karen's part of the book. Did you know she had cancer in 2011 and was just recovering when she lost her job as well?
So Karen had it all piled on, didn't you, Karen?
Oh, look, I'm the School of Hard Knocks here, but no, I'm in a chapter about building resilience, which is such a good positive message to get across. And also, I think I've got some good tips here for anybody going through a major health crisis or facing redundancy, which could happen to any of us.
Well, it could do. And look at you now. You're really well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you have a favourite expert in the book? You can't say yourself.
No. Well, actually, I'd say Nadia Lim, because I thought Miller would go for Nadia Lim.
Yeah.
But she said, oh, I don't know her. But, nutritional advice from Nadia, you can't go past that. And I was really inspired by Denise Arnold, who's a lawyer. And she set up this charity in Cambodia. She's helping with the problem of child trafficking. So that's, just really inspirational story. And also Sean Archer, he's a happiness researcher from
cool.
Harvard. He's very cool. So people should buy the book just for that.
Excellent. But that's what's so great about it too, is all these little bits of advice from some very fascinating and well-documented and well-researched people. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Always enlightening having you guys in the studio. Thank you.
lovely.
And thanks for bringing in your co-host in too. I don't know how Mike's going to feel about that when he comes back.
Say any word.
That's how I like the nice and well behaved. Now, for these full book reviews, you can go to nzbooklovers.co.nz and you can purchase these and many other great reads too at mighty8.co.nz. Plus, win a copy of one of the books reviewed on our Facebook page.